Hello, America. It's time to check the nonsense at the door. Clear the cobwebs between your ears and have a rationalish conversation. This is the lost art of common sense.
All right, America.
That's right, America. I'm Josh.
And I'm Matt.
And this is The Lost Art of Common Sense, brought to you by our merch shop. Link in the description below. Tonight, Kevin's not going to be able to make it. He was working out of town and is still in the process of driving back. So he will not be with us. But luckily, let's see. Am I still on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go on.
Well, my things, I might have to dip out, unfortunately, for a second because my browser froze up.
Oh.
But luckily, we do have a guest. She made it on. We've been trying to get her on for a while, and we're happy she made it. I'm going to reset my browser, and then I will be right back. Matt, keep everybody entertained because I can't do anything on my end. I'll be right back. Professionalism.
Professionalism, yes. Very professional. That is what we strive for with the Lost Art of Common Sense. And yeah, I guess I'm by myself, and I am not sure how to bring Dr. Lee on, so I apologize to her. Hopefully Josh can figure out whatever he's doing very quickly and make this less awkward. There he goes.
There we go. And welcome, Dr. Lee, to the Lost Art of Common Sense. Sorry for that little glitch. Sometimes we've been having for some reason, I've been having rough starts on my end when we start coming on. But yeah, I'm glad that we were able to get you on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, it is a pleasure and honor to have you on. So you're running for State Superintendent of Education of Georgia. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yes.
How do your personal experiences shape your belief that education is the ultimate equalizer for students from all backgrounds?
Well, it's part of my own personal, journey. To be honest with you, I was one of the first in my family to obtain a college degree, and I had made that decision back in high school that I wanted to be the first in my family to obtain a college degree. And so I worked really hard, earned straight A's, and got inducted into the National Honor Society in my sophomore year. And then the summer between my junior and senior year in high school, I obtained a trade certificate because I wanted a way to pay for college. I had no idea how I was going to pay for college. And that worked out, so I was able to work full time while I went to college and obtain a bachelor's, a master's, and ultimately a doctorate in healthcare administration.
That's
very impressive.
That is very impressive and a lot of hard work.
Correct.
Yeah, I went to some college and couldn't stand being broke, and I took a year off 26 years ago. But yeah, I mean, that is impressive to not only go as far as you did in education and get a doctorate, but how you did it is impressive too. I mean, definitely a lot of grit to go through with that.
I really just didn't want all the college debt, so I really just tried to make sure that I was able to work and go to college at the same time. And that was the plan, and thankfully it worked out for me.
Yeah, that was a big thing for me.
Yeah, and right now I started taking online classes again just to try to finish up a degree. I went like 15, almost 20 years ago. And didn't do so hot the first time, didn't really care that much. And then as an adult, I'm just like, yeah, I probably should get my education. So started doing that. So yeah, school and work full time is just no joke. So
it's tough, yeah. But here's the thing, Matt, I don't believe that everyone needs a college degree. Even though I have one, I don't believe that everyone has to have one. And I think that's the lie that we've been telling people for the last 2-3 decades, right? Here's the thing: trade schools, I want to bring them back. I want to bring
I
The
totally agree with that.
love of trade schools back. One of my signature initiatives as superintendent of schools is that I want to have everyone obtain a college degree, a high school diploma, and a trade school certificate. My apologies. And here's the thing: in the state of Georgia, we have dual enrollment. Right, our kids can take up to 30 credits of dual enrollment free of charge. All I'm saying is let's reallocate those dollars into trade schools. And that way, everyone is graduating high school, workforce ready. Whether or not they choose to go to college, they'll have that in their back pocket, if you will. So if they want to go to college and work like I did, they'll be able to work in the industry that they're getting a degree in. And in my case, I was able to use that experience and be able to get a really great paying job right out of college because I had a built-in internship. But for those that don't want to go to college, it allows them to have a career, not just a job. And so that is really what I feel that we should do to prepare all of our young people.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's good. That's really good.
I definitely agree with that. That's how we've, I think, ran into a shortage of tradesmen, and that, I mean, that's ultimately why I never finished with my schooling, because I went for a year for marketing, and then I found out what at least the associates program I was in. Basically, you get a job at a bank and you make posters, and really wasn't what I was looking for. And I just went back to work for my other company and became a professional in environmental remediation and demolition. So worked my way that way, but it does seem that, I mean, that just seems like a great idea, because you not only do you have your high school, but you also have a skill set as you're leaving high school. So that is a great start on no matter what you want to do.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so whether or not you want to continue on to college, take a couple of years off before deciding to go to college. A lot of kids have no idea what they want to do, what they want to major in. And yet we're telling them it's okay. You can spend $20,000 a year trying to figure it out. I don't think that's a great path to success. And right now we have so many youngsters that come out of college with so much debt that it's delaying their start of home ownership. It's delaying their start of starting a family. And so I think that the college experiment has run its course, and definitely there's those that are going to need a college degree, right? If you're wanting to be a nurse, a doctor, a lawyer, all of these specified, professions that need a degree, yes. But if you don't have a clue, why are you spending money getting, a BS in, in philosophy or literature, unless you want to go on to be a professor, one day. But, we need to better prepare our youngsters for life after high school. And I don't believe that we're doing that in a public education very well.
Yeah, I think that's countrywide.
Correct.
Yeah.
Let's
No,
see.
I fully understand that. I guess in your view, what are the biggest challenges facing Georgia public education system today?
So I don't know if you guys have heard of the Mississippi Miracle, where they went literally from the bottom of the rung, like 50th, and now they're in the top 10. And they did it through literacy, to prioritizing literacy. And the way that they did that was they did not allow any student to be promoted from the third grade to the fourth grade if they weren't reading at grade level. And so we have those same laws on the books now in the state of Georgia, but we're not implementing them well. The current superintendent of schools that we have, he's been in the office for 12 years. And in those 12 years, we have only gone backwards. In our literacy rates, 70% of our fourth graders are not proficient in reading. We've gone back in our math. 76% of our eighth graders are not proficient in math. And so we need a shakeup at the top. And we need someone that's going to prioritize literacy and say, hey, we need to make sure that we're putting all the resources around our youngsters, teaching our teachers the science of reading so that they are comfortable and equipped to guide our students to success in that one area. If they're not reading by third grade, they're not going to be successful further on, because in the first to third grade, you're learning to read, and in the fourth grade on, you're reading to learn. So you can't do chemistry and history and any other subject if you cannot read. And
Yeah, it
so
makes it a little difficult.
Yes, yes, very difficult. And a lot of kids, unfortunately, get passed on without really
Mm.
fully grasping that very important fundamental of literacy.
It's this isn't really in the plan questions, but since it's ironic that that law is first through third, because I guess I have dyslexia that runs in my family. Not 100% sure on that, but I know my sister and another one of my siblings had it. But basically, when I was going to school, I went from first to third in a private school, and they had some kind of reading alphabet thing to teach you how to read.
Okay.
I have learned with age that if I don't know if it's conscious or subconscious, but if I'm not jiving with what they're trying to teach me, my brain won't learn it. It just won't.
Okay.
So when I went back to public school in fourth grade, I couldn't read. Like I
Wow.
was basically illiterate. But we have this, I call it pancake class just because I would talk to other people in other areas in my age group, and they're like, yeah, I couldn't read. So I went to this class, and it was for like, there was like 5 of us in that class, and the teacher focused in on what you needed. But they always gave us pancakes, not all the time. And then yeah, they gave me pancakes. Me too. Like, oh, it's pancake class.
Okay.
But it seemed like that was before. Do they still do stuff like that? As far as like, because it seems like they weren't going to allow me, like they let me go into fourth grade, but I had to take that class. And after 1 year in that class, I was caught up. I was proficient with my grade level.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Yes,
So,
they do still have like basically coaching classes for literacy, but not all of our, it's not across the board, right? Some school districts have it, some don't. And that is another issue that we have here in the state of Georgia, is that it's not a very unified system, right? You have some school districts that are doing fantastic and that are producing great results, and then the rest of the state is not. And so that's one of the things that I like to be able to do. Again, it's providing leadership across the board.
yeah. You emphasize education as the only true equalizer. Can you share examples from like Georgia and beyond where access to quality education has transformed lives and communities, like breaking cycles of inequality?
Well, I can tell you some statistics. 70% of those that are incarcerated have the equivalent of a fourth grade education. And in fact, by third grade, prisons are built based on literacy rates. So we know already that if we're not properly educating or preparing our students for learning and specifically to read, we know that they're on a trajectory for crime, right? So it's immoral, in my view, to not properly train children. But on the flip side of that, if we do a good job of training them and preparing them, the opportunities are endless, right? I'm proof positive of that. You know, when you prepare a child, not just academic, but with critical thinking, and give them all of the tools that they need, then they will be able to figure life out. They'll be able to decode life, if you will, and be prepared for it. And so that's what we should be doing for all of our kids. It shouldn't be the haves versus the have-nots when it comes to education. We need to make sure that rural counties are trained just as well as the urban counties. We need to make sure that the inner cities children are trained just as much as those that are come from suburbia, right?
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. I mean, just it seems like, and I don't understand if it was from that No Kid Left Behind program
Which
back
was
during, I think,
horrible. Yes.
yeah, George W. Bush's era, but
It
you
sounded good in theory, but
yeah,
it was not a good.
it seemed to be like just a push along program. Then it's like, well, you get funding based on people pass through the grades, and then people got looked over. And we said on the show a long time ago, if someone doesn't have access, and it should be, like you said, all over the country, rural, urban, doesn't matter. Everyone in America should get top tier education. So when at least you get to 12th grade, you're able to, because back in the day, after you graduate high school, you could pretty well go on as an adult. It seems like
And
not
that's
only are we not properly educating correctly, but we're also not giving the correct tools during the educational time to where, I mean, I haven't seen a whole lot. I would say the majority of high schoolers aren't really ready to just jump into it. Like when, I'm jumping into adulthood.
When we were kids, we're not preparing them for the world that they're dealing with. We're not. We're no longer teaching home ec, right? We're no longer teaching basic skills. I love the title of this show, The Lost Art of Common Sense. So much about education is about teaching them the things that they should know on day one, the day after they graduated high school, and we're not doing that. It's become a social club, a lot of social issues, right? These kids are out there protesting and know so much about what's going on in the world, all the way over in Israel, but they don't know, how to vote or why it's important to vote, or they don't know the levels of the tiers of government. They don't know how to balance a checkbook. I know nobody uses a checkbook anymore, but you still need to be able to balance your budget, create a budget and be able to balance that. So all of these skills are lost, and we're not properly implementing them in the day-to-day of their school day, basically.
Yeah, I don't understand why that's.
Can't hear you, Matt.
Still can't hear you, Matt. Still can't. Let me check your settings now. Do you hit your secret mute button? Are you on HyperX solo chat microphone? Nod your head because I can't hear you. Because that's what it's set at. How did you mess up your microphone sitting there doing nothing?
But he did post something saying about writing in cursive. Yes, I believe it's very important for kids to learn to write in cursive. In fact, I homeschooled my oldest child because he was on the spectrum, or he is still on the spectrum. I homeschooled him through the 5th grade. And while homeschooling him, that's what I taught him was cursive. When he went back to regular school in the 5th grade, he couldn't write in print.
Yes.
He had to learn how to write in print. So the beauty of cursive is that it's not just writing, but it actually helps unlock, parts of the brain that helps with math and science. And so it's very important to teach kids cursive, not just to sign their name, but it's an important skill set. And I'm not really sure why we did away with it, frankly.
Yeah, I think because of the technical age and everyone's, everyone types. It's like I remember when I was in 5th grade, I wasn't the best speller because, I was just recently learning how to read. And my teacher literally told my parents, it's not that big of a deal, there's spell check. It's like, well, if I'm doing a live screen share, trying to type something in, it's like, oh no, it's just a misstep. It's an autocorrect. Yeah. But that's why I also try to read as much as possible too, because I've heard that it helps you. I guess word recognition.
Correct. Yes.
So Matt, what were you saying before you muted yourself?
I messed it up. Well, I plugged in my headphones because my headphones were dying, and apparently that screwed everything up.
Oh.
But no, I was just saying the kids nowadays, they learn pretty much everything or retain everything they hear on TikTok or
Correct.
Instagram, and not school. So
Exactly.
Yeah, we live in a TikTok society for sure with attention span of 3 minutes or less.
Yeah.
And that's the thing too. I don't believe that we need to allow students to have devices, cell phones and tablets during the school day. They need to check those in the minute they get into class, and then they can check them out at the end of the school day. They need to focus. School should be about learning the 3 R's, right? The first, from K to 3, literacy, right? From 4th to 8th grade, really focus on math, because if they don't know math, they can't do any STEM related careers, right? And then from 9th grade on, it should be all about vocation. We should be preparing them for a skill set, preparing them to be entrepreneurs, preparing them to be able to manage their households. And then, if they want to go off to college, those that are college bound are going to go to college. But that shouldn't be the focus of the high school. The focus of high school is preparing you to be able to fend for yourself the minute you leave high school. And that's what we have missed really in our hyper focus on college.
I agree with that. And kind of jump on the bandwagon since we're talking about technology. I guess what role do you see for innovation and technology in modernizing Georgia's education system while also keeping the focus on foundational skills that truly level the playing field for long-term success?
So, as I mentioned, K-3, no books. I believe that we need to just focus on paper, pen, no devices. My apologies. No devices. So focus on paper, pen, and books exclusively, K-3. Then from 4th grade to 8th grade, we can introduce tablets and computers, but as resources. So the teachers are still teaching, and we're using these devices as resources, maybe as practice for math and science problems, but it should not take away from the instructional time that a teacher gives. Now, once you're in high school, I believe that we need to teach youngsters how to use technology the way that they're going to be using it in industry, right? So if I'm using ChatGPT to do a lot of my presentations and things like that, we need to teach young people how to use the technology that's available to industry so that they are not coming out of high school completely blindsided. So they need to learn Excel, they need to learn PowerPoint, they need to learn, how to use Teams, etc. All of these technologies, they need to have that understanding before leaving high school.
Yeah, I would. I have this weird thing about making Excel spreadsheets for everything. I learned a lot of the formulas from YouTube, and that's how I learned a lot of stuff.
Okay.
Well, I wouldn't say learn. I would say temporarily able to achieve the task through the video. But like, I do probably all of the video editing for the show, and I use 2 different programs. And if I watch it on YouTube, I'll be able to complete my task, but I'm not going to remember how I did it per se until I do it for a few times. And I think a lot of people lean on crutches because it's like, well, if I don't know how to do something, I learned how to weld from YouTube. I'm the University of YouTube welding program.
Oh, wow. YouTube is fantastic. I have to agree.
Learn a lot.
Like you were saying, it's a good resource.
It is a very good resource for sure.
But, and Matt skipped over one. When you were talking about making sure everything's equal between rural, and suburban, how do we make sure all that is equal? Like, what are your plans for that? Is it because, like here in Texas, I went and looked at a job at this high school out in the middle of nowhere, and they were doing all these huge renovations.
Okay.
And they're like, oh, we really need to expand. And I'm walking down the hallway of the school to get to the location where I'm going to be putting a bid together, and half the rooms are empty, but their school district is right next to a fuel refinery. So that school gets a ton of money, and I never understood why location determines funding.
It's because of the property taxes. That's how most school districts are funded, right? Through property taxes. And if they're next to a school refinery, they're probably having some sort of partnership with that refinery to create sort of like a pipeline of employees or workers for that refinery. So
I could see that.
And I'm okay with that so long as students there in that region realize that they have other opportunities. So I don't want to pigeonhole students just to a region, right? They need to know that the opportunities are endless. They should be able to have access to all types of trades, regardless of whether their region is going to be, if they're going to have to stay in their region. We shouldn't have to, we shouldn't educate just for a region, if that makes sense. We really are doing kids a disservice if we do that. So we need to make sure that we're giving them all of the tools. This is what I propose in eighth grade, and this is I can't take credit for this. Buffalo, that this is what they do in eighth grade. They host a career fair for their eighth graders, and basically it's for all the different trade schools that they can attend in high school, and they give them this amazing opportunity to look at all the different trade schools that are available throughout the entire region, and that way by ninth grade they know exactly what they're going to be working with. And again, this doesn't mean that this is a trade that you have to do for life, but it gives you a skill right out of high school that you can utilize, you can build on, and definitely it's something that you can work and pay your bills with, right? So regardless of whether or not this is going to be your career, lifelong, endeavor. So I believe that we need to do more of that and eliminate region by region or rural. You should not limit children's opportunities based on where they come from.
I agree with that.
I agree with that. Yeah.
I was wondering, and I don't know if this is a huge issue in Georgia, or I don't see it a lot around here per se, but it seems like a lot of like getting rid of home ec, getting rid of shop, getting small engines and pushing people away from trade schools and all that, or just like people graduating with a diploma, piece of paper in their hand, and not really knowing the fundamentals on being an adult. It seems like high schools have somehow shifted kind of what college was for to an extent, but that's more because you're going to be entering your 20s. But like people discovering themselves and who they are in high school, it's like you're still an adolescent. Your brain doesn't stop forming until your mid 20s. So like the whole point of, and with parents raising children, is to raise a functional,
Exactly.
productive adult. Not find yourself, not like you want to do that in college, whatever. But like when you were talking about like a lot of these students will be the walkouts that we've seen across the country during class, like high school. I mean, this is high school. You can literally be arrested for skipping school if the cops see you. So
Exactly. And it has nothing to do with learning the fundamentals, right? Does any of that does that equate to you learning a valuable skill? And I don't have any problem with students expressing themselves, but they need to do it on the weekends or after school. They
yeah,
need to do it on their own time. During school day is not the time to do that. You have to learn the fundamentals. You have to be preparing yourself for your adult life. That's what needs to be happening in school during the school day.
are you a pretty big proponent of making sure that students, like if you're a superintendent, making sure the students have a firm grasp of civics and how the government works, what their rights are and aren't, and kind of, because it seems like that's a huge thing that, I mean, I remember taking government and stuff in American history when I was in school, but it seems like a lot of people really don't understand how the government works, what their rights are and aren't, and how important it is from local all the way to federal it is to go, not only just go out and vote, but to learn the issues in your area, who's running for what and what they're running for.
So, I am a big proponent of civics. Here in the state of Georgia, we have half a semester of civics, which really isn't enough. They're cramming everything in that first, that half semester. So I do believe it should be a full year civics program for sure. And here's the thing. You already mentioned it. Kids know so much about what to protest for, and they're learning it from Instagram and TikTok, but they have no earthly idea, why they should vote for their legislature or their local, school board representative. These people have so much power over their day-to-day lives, and how much is that protest going to actually move the needle versus you understanding the importance of voting and why you need to vote for your primary elections or your off-year elections, for instance.
Yeah, and then a big thing. Yeah,
Oh,
and
go
then a
ahead,
big
Matt.
thing with those protests, it's just Yeah, they can learn all this stuff on TikTok, but mostly with TikTok, it's just telling you what to think and what's cool. So then they're like, oh, we can get out of class for an hour, half the day. Okay, I'll go out there and pretend to be against this or whatever.
And not on my watch. I say we no, seriously, I really do believe that we need to crack down on that and crack down on teachers that are promoting that or encouraging that as well.
I like that. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Do teachers in the high school, I'm not sure, do they get that same tenure protection as like college professors
They
do?
they do. However, there's disciplinary process. So but you do have to be willing to do the disciplinary process, and I think that's the issue. I can tell you right now, though, that a lot of teachers are carrying a lot more burdens than teachers in the past. Whether it comes from documentation or our excessive reliance on our test scores, these are not what the reasons why teachers went into the profession. New teachers in particular are quitting at alarming rates, right? They have very idealistic ideas of what the classroom is going to be like, and then they get there and it's not anywhere close to their reasons for going into the profession. So I do have a plan as far as increasing the mentorship time that new students or new teachers rather are paired with a professional or a seasoned teacher. I believe that it should be 3 years rather than 3 months. I think currently it's like 3 to 6 months. That's not enough. We need to actually pair them up with a seasoned teacher that's going to teach them class management, that's going to hold their hand. If they have any questions, they can go to the seasoned teacher. If they're having a frustrating day, they can go to the seasoned teacher and just bounce ideas off of them.
Yeah, I mean, I could. Is it so? Is there a lot of, and I haven't know because I haven't been in school in a minute. Is there just way more bureaucracy and requirements as far as when it comes to being a teacher? And
Way more bureaucracy. They have so much documentation that they have to do. They have to answer to their admins for a lot more than teachers of old. And like I said, they're teaching to the test oftentimes for about 2 to 3 months out of the year. So they're not teaching their subject, they're teaching children how to pass a test, which will take the joy out of teaching out of anybody. And so it's not really a conducive to a true learning environment that a lot of teachers are entering. So I would like for us to reduce the testing that is required and then reduce the weight. Right now, principals are weighted heavily based on test scores for their schools, which passes that pressure onto the teachers, right? Because if that's what the principal is going to be weighted on, they're going to pass that same, pressure and expectation down to their teachers. And guess what the teachers do? They pass it down to the students. So everybody is stressed out during test taking time.
You better pass this test.
Yes, and it's really sad because they're not learning during this time. They're just learning how to pass a test. And so we need to completely change that dynamic.
yeah, I was. Well, and it's weird because it seems like common sense. You would use tests to judge, whether or not someone's learning something or if the program's working as a metric to measure,
But they
success
don't
for
need to
failure.
test so much, so many times. They test at the beginning of the year, they test at the end of the year, and it's taking up so much. It's weighted so heavily that it's taking so much of the instructional time away.
Oh
So
yeah,
yes, we should test, but let's reduce the weight of it for the principal success or principal metrics, so that we are not making it such a pressure point for the schools.
well, and that's why it's what's weird because you think like, yeah, that's the metric for measuring, but if you like you're saying if there's so much on it because I'm sure it has to do with funding and everything else because it all goes back to money.
Exactly.
Then like you said, you're just training people to take care of this one thing. They're not actually learning the subject; they're just learning the answers. And I've even ran into that in some of my environmental stuff where we're going through. I'm like, oh, this is the answer. Write it down. Or now
And
they
then
just.
they
I've
learn
been.
absolutely nothing, right? And here's the thing: we can test
Google it.
what we really want to test, which is literacy, in those first 3 years, and you don't need to take an actual test for that. We can just do, have kids read and do the make sure that they're reading the appropriate books and the appropriate they're able to read at their grade level. So we don't have to have them sit down in a multiple choice tests per se to test whether or not they're reading.
Do they still do the dreaded break out the book and everybody takes turns reading out loud in front of the class?
They should. It's a good
I used to hate that. Oh no, I don't want to. Oh man, this is gonna be rough. Oh yeah, okay. No, I just remember that was the most stressful thing I could, like, if I think back to school, what was the most stressful thing I ever did? Standing up, because they also made us stand up
Oh wow.
and read out loud. That, and I had an English teacher that if you said I don't know, you had to do 20 push-ups. He was
Oh, wow.
also incidentally one of our football coaches, but
I
yeah,
love it.
he didn't care if he gave you a wrong answer. And I don't even know if that's legal anymore, or if it was back then. But there was one time I had to do 180 push-ups because I'm like, you know what? I ain't doing your push-ups. And it just kept. It's like, you're going to do them now, or you're going to pay a practice. Okay.
I love it.
But he didn't care if he gave a wrong answer. He just wanted an answer. Like, he wanted an answer, and I don't know wasn't acceptable.
I love it.
So, yeah. So that and reading out loud were my two things I remember from school.
But you're reading though, right?
Yes.
So, and that's the thing. Kids knew that they had to learn how to read because they had to do it in front of their peers. So I think that is a good way to get some peer pressure on kids.
And I think it probably develops a certain level of public speaking, kind of getting used to talking and delivering in front of people. And so, yeah, I mean, I don't know if they're doing it now. Like I said, I haven't been to school in a minute, so I would hope, but it just seems like we were all more capable back when, we were graduating than they are now. But it's kind of weird because, like you said, people know a lot of stuff, but they don't know how to do life, if that makes sense, because everything's digital to them.
And it got even worse after COVID.
Yeah, that was.
Really did. Yes, it did affect the isolation that kids feel nowadays. It's just much more it's much more of an issue. Mental health issues have increased. All the social issues have definitely gotten worse since COVID.
Have you noticed the lack of eye contact getting better or worse with students, or?
Much worse, much worse. Have you tried to speak to a young person? They will not look at you in the eye.
No, they're just like the.
Me.
They'll start off and then they'll immediately look away, and it's just really sad. It's so
Anytime
sad.
we bring on new, younger workers and stuff like that, and I break them of that habit pretty quick. But yeah, I just noticed they do not like looking in the eye. Then I'll do the intense, non-blinking stare.
I do that with my nephews.
Look me in the eye.
Yeah.
It's
And
definitely
with my
a
nephews,
skill
if
set
they're
that requires you to be in front of a real life person. But they are constantly stuck on their phones, and so it makes it difficult for them to learn that skill.
Yeah, and there's been a couple times where my nephews are talking to me and they're looking over here, looking
Yes.
at me, and then I move. I start to move in their direction. They're like, "What are you doing?" They're like, "You're not looking at me."
Don't talk to my shoes. Talk to my face.
Yeah,
That is so true.
it's like I'm not a huge talker, but talk to me.
Yeah.
I am the complete opposite of that.
Yeah,
I'll talk to
no
anybody.
kidding.
Let's see. So looking ahead, if elected, what measurable outcomes would you aim for in the next 4 years to prove that investing in education as an equalizer leads to better economic social prospects for Georgia's next generation?
So Georgia is touted as the #1 business state, right? We've been that for the past 8 to 10 years, and yet we are falling further and further behind in our education. And so we can't do that, right? Eventually businesses are going to start going, if I can't get qualified workers. Why am I moving to Georgia? Why am I moving my company and my business to Georgia? And even more so, we're going to start seeing families, question whether they should move to Georgia if the school systems are not up to par. So we definitely, as a state, the number one thing that I would like for us to see is to start moving together towards the same goals, right? Literacy by the third grade, high math scores by the eighth grade, and high success in the with trade schools and graduation rates by the end of the end of 12th grade, right? Those are very simple goals, but we all need to adopt them, and we all need to be moving forward. The initiatives that I have aren't going to cost us anything. They're not even going to require any great legislative changes. It just requires for us to have the same goals, and for us to have a visionary leader that can get everybody rallied around the same concept, right? And so I believe that that's what I am, is someone that can inspire the masses, inspire principals and superintendents, as well as teachers and students around that. Let's beat Mississippi's butt, concept. If nothing else, they're number 9 right now. We're number 38. We can do better than that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I think people underestimate just how important even just literacy is, and that's why I think it's one of the best things. Well, like you said, to set that as your foundation for education when you start in schooling. But I mean, all through history, that was used as a weapon against people. I mean,
Yeah.
all the way back to the written word.
Correct.
And that's why I think one of the reasons why the United States became so prosperous is because, the big thing
leveled
was
the playing
education,
field.
education. Yeah.
And now we're going in the reverse. So no, let's stop that.
Nothing wrong with challenging people.
Yes, for sure.
I did want to share. Let me see. I need to add audio to this. Let me add you all. I just want to make sure I have you on here. So if you want to say anything.
I see that you pulled up my website. Is that what you're about to show?
Yep. I was just adding you to the background on the scene so your audio would come through on it.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll take a look at your website here. So this is where people, if they want to find out more about you,
Yes,
donate.
drnelva.com.
I take it that's your family.
Family, yes.
Beautiful family.
yeah, that's fair.
Yes, I have my speech right there. They can click on that and listen to my platform speech.
Yeah, when I first got your email, that's the first thing I did. You got a like from the Lost Out of Common Sense on there.
I love it. And I have tons of podcast interviews that I've done. I've posted them there. And my platform policies, obviously.
Sure, I gotta get updates. So that's like sign up for updates on what's going on with your
Yes, I have
campaign.
a newsletter. Correct. I have a newsletter that I send out. And then let's see what else here. So I think the next tab shows. Okay, these are my books. I've written these 4 books are what I call my written testimonies. And so I've written a book on the adoption of my daughter that you saw in the purple above. We adopted her from the foster care system of Puerto Rico. So the book all the way to the right, A Hope and a Future, is about that journey. And then the book where you see the young lady praying, that is Be the Superhero of Your Story. And for me, prayer is my superpower. In fact, if you see my shirt, it says, "How can I pray for you today?" I believe in the power of prayer. But really and truly, I saw young people after COVID specifically going through a lot of anxiety and depression. And so there's just a lack of resilience. And this book is a book about resilience. And then Victorious is my story, my personal story of how I overcame depression and PTSD. And so a little bit about, kind of companion book to Be the Superhero of Your Story. And then Stay and Fight is a marriage book. And I talk about how Christian women in particular, we really need to see our marriages as our mission field. And so it just these books just chronicle journeys that I've gone through. And, the Bible says you overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of your testimony. So that's really what these are, my written testimonies.
I'd be interested in
Like
that. I
it.
might
Yeah.
take a look at some of those.
Definitely.
Here.
And
Something
then,
like,
of course, I have my own merch right here, yard signs and T-shirts and caps and things that you can purchase.
and then
And this little video here, my son made it for me, sort of like my campaign video. So if anyone wants to listen to that, I don't know if you can hear it.
I think I can. I think I added audio. Let's see.
It's just like a little fun rap song. That's me with the governor
God
when I was.
doesn't just use the
Oh,
will
Governor
and he
Camp, yeah.
appoints
Yeah.
written on it. And when he called Nelva, hell had to move out the way. She don't walk, she flows, spirit and a soul. Dr. Lee been crowned since before she had a role. Chosen from the start with a fire in her
Pretty
chest.
creative.
Covered in the word, she don't fold under stress. She don't walk, she flows, spirit and a soul.
You don't have to
Been
listen
crowned
to
since
the whole
before
thing,
she
but
had a
I think
role.
it's good.
Chosen from the start with a fire in her chest. Covered
That's pretty creative. I mean, that's
That is. That's nice.
And now that picture with the governor, that's when I was appointed to the Department of Community Health. So I just put kind of various pictures in there that I had, and yeah, that's the website. So yeah, definitely check it out and support my campaign.
yeah. We will. We always, if someone's got a book or a website or whatever, we don't necessarily endorse anybody. But I'm not a voter in Georgia, so
Yes.
I'll endorse Dr.
Promote it.
Lee.
Well, I hope some of your listeners are in the state of Georgia, and if they would love, if they are, please look out for me on the ballot on May 19th.
Yep, and we will add your website to the description for this episode. So, and then we'll leave it on there. We always leave everybody's thing for the year all the way to the end of the year, so
Nice.
it's always on there so people come back. But yeah, I do. Matt, do you have anything else for Dr. Lee?
No, I thought it was really, really good to have you on. I think I absolutely agree with pretty much everything you said. So that was good, and I wish you the best of luck.
It's common sense stuff, right?
It is common.
It is common
Part
sense
of
stuff.
common sense.
Put the tablets down, put everything down, do your own work, and stay in school.
Right? Yeah.
So
So yeah, I would like to thank you for coming
Mark.
on, and yeah, this was great. I was really looking forward to having you on, and it was everything that because we've brought up education on the show a lot, and for you to run as superintendent and have the background you have, I was really looking forward to talking to you. So I'm really happy that we made this happen. So
Well, I'm glad to have met the two of you, and thank you so much for having me on today.
yep, thank you and good luck.
thank you.
Thank you.
So yeah, that was a good interview,
Good.
Matt.
That was really nice. Yeah.
And you moved, so I'm gonna have to move you back.
Moved.
There you go.
Oh, there we go.
You can log out if you.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, you too. Thank you.
Here. Then Matt, you did have a. So that takes. So well, no, I want to do a recap of the interview. That was a good interview. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, that was really good. I really enjoyed it as well. And like I said, yeah, I agreed with a lot of things that she said. I think in high school we need to kind of prepare people better. In my school, we did have a class that went a semester long that taught you pretty much how to budget, how to do a checkbook, kind of how to do everyday life. But I think it needs to be more than that. And it was kind of an elective class, so not everybody had to take it. I think it needs to be kind of a requirement. So I agreed with her on that. And then just a lot of stuff. Get in the trades, get in all this stuff, and then be less reliant on technology. Some technology earlier on in your life. Obviously, in high school, yes, learn how to use it because you're going to need to use it in everyday life. So.
Well, and I hope there's more people like her out there, not just in Georgia, but in the country in general, that sees this and notices that we've made mistakes moving forward, huge ones during COVID, and we need to dial it back and I mean, all you have to do is look back and like, that's why I don't understand why people can't see, and everyone complains about their childhood or this or that, but like we were like Gen X, you're very early millennial, I think, aren't you? Actually, no, you're kind of in it. You're a little different though,
88.
but like, yeah, so you're still like, you're a millennial, but you still grow up to a lot of the stuff that you don't. You act more resilient than a lot of people that I've ran into in your young age, Matt. Back in my day. But no, it's just like when you graduated, like I graduated, I worked for a year, and then I was like, this sucks. I better get an education. Then I went and got education, and I'm like, well, this is going nowhere, and I'm just blowing money because I didn't see the projected future I wanted for myself for what I was going for. So I'm like, I'll take a year off, save some money, and go back. And never did. But I was still able to be an adult when I graduated. Now, was I immature? Yeah. Have I matured much? No. But, that's just me.
Yeah.
I'm giddy like that. But I wish her all the luck that I can, and I think she's got a good platform. So hopefully people get out there and, and vote. That's the most literally on anything. Like this is a future of kids. And I think she's got a good path forward. I don't know if she's just running against the sitting person or she's primarying someone, but she's the only one to talk to. And I liked what she had to say. So
yeah, absolutely.
You want to run into winners and losers?
Sure. Let's do it.
Let's see what Jared said first.
Yeah. What do you got?
I have no way I can read. I would have liked to hear her stance on the Pledge of Allegiance and what she thought of prayer in schools.
I think she would have been for it.
I think the pledge, yes. I think prayer in school, like when I was in high school, it was called, I think, meet at the flagpole or something. And that's where, like, if you wanted to pray in school, you could pray out in the flag, at the flagpole. I don't know if you could. Because the other thing is, once you open the door to that, you open it to every religion because of freedom of religion. Mm-hmm. And then, because the one thing I don't want to see is people taking breaks out, which I think have happened in some schools, to do their daily prayers for a certain religion.
Well, I'm not going to lie. Back in
where they
middle
bring
school,
mats.
Back in, what's wrong with mats? Back in middle school, I grew up in church. I went to church. I took it more seriously then. And I think 6th, 7th grade, there were a lot of times where I, like at lunch or something, I'd either sneak away and do a prayer away from people or do something just before I ate, or just randomly, if I felt like it, then I would just do it. And people were kind of like, what are you doing? But I didn't care, and nobody said anything to me. So
I don't see any problem with somebody wants to say a prayer before a meal or whatever.
It was just a quick thing. I'm like, okay, we're good.
But yeah, I think it was weird. I don't know when they took it out. Why you should have any problem pledging allegiance to your country first thing in the morning is beyond me. Like, yes, we should be bringing up every person in the country to love and revere their country and be patriotic. Not to be patriotic for your country is stupid. And you can be patriotic and disagree with what's going on in Washington. I don't care what side of the aisle you are. You can still love your country and want the best for your country.
Yeah.
So I can't believe that was a good question, J Red. Why didn't you bring that up?
Good.
Let me scroll through. No, you never asked it. You came up with this great question
after the fact.
And we're not qualified to answer it. We did. I think we gave the right answer, but not necessarily qualified to do so.
Yeah, not so much.
I don't know.
Another thing Jared came up with, he said no more Chromebooks. And to an extent, I agree. Because a lot of schools, even up here, they kind of check the Chromebooks out to people.
I think Chromebooks are garbage, period, just as a computer.
I agree, but it's just stupid. Why would you do that? Yeah, they put some security software on there where they can't watch certain things, they can't look up certain things, but then you give it to them, and then you give them a test or homework, and they can just Google it.
Well, that's why there's a reason why wealthy people send their kids to private or schools that don't allow any technology. I don't even necessarily think they allow calculators at some of the schools. Like, you are going to learn to do math, period. And then these same rich people are donating all this digital equipment to schools that does not help people learn. It helps people work shortcuts.
Yeah.
I mean, AI is like the worst thing as far as like writing an essay or any of that stuff goes.
Yeah, you can just be like, hey, I need you to write an essay. Okay. And then you can reword it a little bit here and there. And then just because there is technology where teachers can put your essay into this program and it'll tell you if it's AI generated. Or
so unless you like restructure the whole thing.
Yeah. So it'll give you a percentage of what percentage of this thing was AI generated, or if it's not a lot. Like, I've been asked by a couple of my professors, be like, hey, did you use AI on this? I was like, the only thing I used was Grammarly to make sure my grammar didn't suck, that it was fine. Otherwise, I wrote it 100% me.
Like, I wrote the title, sir.
I did my name and the date. And
what you do is you'd write a bunch of stuff and you submit it to the AI, so it's full of grammar mistakes. And yep, Josh wrote that. Sure.
Yeah.
And it costs the parents more money. Yes, it does. Apparently, you have to buy the Chromebooks or buy all the digital crap for the kids. Yeah. According to JRed. Boop.
Oh, really? Down there you do? Oh.
You know, you'd never.
This is where they'll check them out, or they'll give it to them for the day when they're at school, but then they won't give it. They won't let them take it home or whatever.
I think it's become.
One of my nephews take it home, and one time I was kind of sitting there. I was hanging out with my sister, and I look over and he's on his Chromebook. I was like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "My homework." I went over there. It's like, you're literally just typing in the questions and getting the answers.
Yeah, that's another reason why kids shouldn't have their. I don't know. Phones just came out because of my birth date and the public to private school to public again held me back a year. So I was already older, but I think my sophomore year, sophomore year, cell phones were just coming out, where they weren't bricks. And they were just phones. That was it. You can make a phone call on them. They were not allowed in the hallways. Like, if you brought it to school, it had to stay in your locker till the end of the day.
Yeah.
Just a phone. Now they're little computers.
Mine, I had the Nokias that had Snake on it. So you'd play Snake. But the big thing was the TI-83 calculators, because then they actually had games on there, and those would get taken away. Like, if you weren't in math class and somebody caught you with a calculator, they'd take it away.
I know what you're doing.
There's like
you're writing 8008.
No, they're playing like Mafia. There's a Mafia game on where you go around shooting people and stealing stuff. And
they did not have fancy calculators like that when I was in. They had the big scientific calculator that I couldn't figure out how to work, and it did not have games on it.
Oh, yeah, it was the TI-83 Plus, and you could put games on it, and yeah, it was fun. And then you'd be in history class and you'd look around and there'd be like 4 people with their calculators out. And teachers like,
why would a company that builds an educational tool even make that an option?
To sell it?
Yeah, I guess.
Will buy
Seems like a horrible idea.
It's a Game Boy that you can take in class and think it's not a Game Boy.
Yeah, I guess. Seems... I don't know.
Get more sales and it sold.
But yeah, like I said, I mean, surprisingly, guys that jump on the internet live to talk a bunch of smack and drink beer. This is probably one of my favorite guests talking about education.
Yeah.
But I'm also getting to the age where I really care about the upcoming generations and whether or not they're competent. So I'm just saying, I might have had a selfish reason for caring. It's like, please don't be dumb for when I become an invalid geriatric.
Don't make these kids dumb. Well, yeah, you want someone to take care of you, and you don't want them to be complete idiots.
Well, I really need someone to discover 0-point energy so I can have like that hover thing that I float around upside down on in when I throw my back out, like in Back to the Future Part 2.
Yeah.
Oh, I threw my back out at the golf course again. You don't golf. I know. I don't know what I was doing there, but I threw my back out.
Classic.
I'm just saying. Should have had that going. Pancake class. Like how I dropped that? I had to get that in there.
That was good. That was funny. I'm surprised you brought that up. It was good.
I wasn't going to. She set it up for me.
She did.
Unknowingly set it up for me by saying that 1st through 3rd grade, you should be able to read. And I'm like, incidentally, when I went to school after 3rd grade, I couldn't read. So I had to go to pancake class.
Pancake class. I like pancakes.
I just say, I think it was a wonderful class and a program, and every school should still have it if they don't, because there was no kid left behind. You either passed or you failed and got held back, or if they could help you out in this class, they would. And it helped me out because, like I said, my brain has a certain way of learning shit, and if I'm not jiving with the way it's coming at me, then it doesn't matter. Algebra, my brain just hates letters and math.
Oh, I can't do out. Yeah. Nope. No thanks.
Which is weird. Isn't there letters in geometry?
Yeah.
There are. X, Y, Z, axes and all that stuff. Angles of a corner or a triangle. But I got geometry like that.
Different equations. Yeah. Algebra is just stupid.
Yeah. I do algebra every day. Bidding jobs and all kinds of stuff, but I don't know I do it. And if I did, I'd probably just be like, I ain't doing it.
That's what a calculator is for. That's what computers for.
Let's hop into winners and losers, Matt.
All right.
In my book, you're a winner, too. I think you're a loser.
So, Matt, you have a loser, and I have a...
You have a loser.
2-minute clip discussing your loser. Do you even know his name?
I can't. I had it, but I can't remember.
Well, learn it in the clip.
He's just an asshole. He's just a douchebag.
Police say Shamar Elkins killed 8 children, including 7 of his own, in an execution-style shooting in Shreveport, Louisiana, early Sunday morning.
When he returned here, he began to execute children.
The incident started as a domestic dispute around 5 in the morning. According to police, Elkins shot a woman in the face at one house, then went to the house where his children were and shot another woman. Police say he pursued the children, even as some of them tried to escape.
Were they crawling out of windows to get onto a roof?
Yes, so actually this house right here that you see behind us, there's a window right above the garage. They actually climbed out of that window, we believe, and unfortunately one of the children was actually located deceased on the roof. So we are working to determine, we do believe that
that guy's such a piece of shit.
Was on the roof trying to get away.
Police said the shooter then stole a vehicle from a driver at gunpoint and led officers on a multi-parish chase. When he stopped in a neighborhood and got out with a gun, officers shot and killed him.
We believe there were multiple weapons used here. There is a handgun that was recovered.
There's some weird stereo going on with his audio on this clip.
I was going to say, I can hear him in one.
Yeah, that's not you.
Was the wife of the shooter.
Okay.
Both
I was like,
my
phone's off. I don't know what.
Photos posted to the gunman's Facebook page show him with several children. One posted just 2 weeks ago, captioned, "With all my kids, what a blessed day."
The kids played in the yard every evening.
Yeah, the interviews come out on the right here, and the reporter comes out on the left.
There were no signs the shooter would do something like this.
Just yesterday evening, he was sitting on the porch, and I waved at him. He waved.
Because I don't use one ear.
I'm just in the yard playing, and I just come in the house, and then this morning we woke up to all of this.
Elkins had previously pleaded guilty to a weapons charge. That was back in 2019, but police are still looking for answers as to what it was that prompted this shooting. Jason Allen, CBS News, Shreveport, Louisiana.
Well.
Yeah, so he's a twat waffle.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's
like his neighbor said, like he didn't notice anything that was like the dude seen normal the day before. Obviously there was something stewing, and I don't know what snapped in the guy, but I mean, if you're going to do something like that, just off yourself.
Well, people like Ted Bundy, too.
Yeah.
They thought he was normal, and look what he did.
Well, I guarantee you there's going to be a crime show about that guy, and there'll be they'll run more through his past. I wasn't able to do a bunch of backstory research on the guy.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there had been signs in the past. I think there might have been some domestic stuff going on and maybe a divorce looming.
Probably.
I'm not 100% sure on that, but I do know that.
It's just, I had a couple other people in mind for losers of the week, and then I saw that story, and I was just like, nope, hands down. It's like, that's it.
Yeah.
I don't know what you have to have in you
to be able to kill your kids.
To be able to do anything to your kids. I don't get it. And then one's like climbing and on the roof to get away from him, and he kills him. He still kills him on the roof. I don't.
Yeah, chased him down.
It's sick.
Since we have a plenty of happenings, my loser of the week is where's his name? Tanner Horner. Heard of that guy?
Tanner Horner.
He's a former FedEx driver that kidnapped, raped, and murdered 7-year-old Athena Strand a couple of years ago.
Ooh,
in his truck.
I remember that. I did not remember that. No.
He was recently convicted of first-degree murder, sexual assault, all kinds of things, and now we're going through the sentencing phase, and they're pulling out all this bullshit like, oh, he's got schizophrenia or he's got multiple personality disorder and 0 is not nice, and they're showing pictures of his kid, like him as a kid, and like, yeah, that picture, that kid's not the one who raped and murdered a young girl while he was there to drop off a gift of Barbies that someone sent her. And this moron, like, first he said that he had accidentally hit her, freaked out, so he put her in the truck and then dumped her out like in a ditch somewhere, not realizing that throwing your hat over the camera inside your truck doesn't stop the audio, so the people in the jury had to hear all of it. All of it. This guy is like, and his lawyers are trying to keep him off death row. This guy is so blatantly guilty.
Defend him. I don't know how you defend that.
No, I mean,
that's the job, and they have to. They swore an oath, whatever. I don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, they're at this point. I don't think they're not defending to make up a bullshit insanity. Like even try an insanity plea though. It's like, no, this guy's a piece of shit, and they're like, oh, we had this problem. I don't care. Like he's functional enough to have a job. He worked for FedEx. He delivered packages. He made it quite a ways as an adult.
Yeah,
that dude should be marked. What? Because of the overwhelming evidence that he did it, he should have been marched straight out of the courtroom and right into an electric chair, set on lower voltage so it takes longer. Like,
yeah, anybody that touches a kid, in my opinion, just fucking go. Bye.
Oh yeah, I mean, my lady came across it, and I was like, "What the shit?" And like, I mean, just it's a horrible case. And that guy does. It's either that, or if he gets life in prison, her picture and what he did should be on the back of his jumpsuit. That way, at least you're not going to probably have to feed him for long.
Yeah, send him into the lifers and let them go.
Yeah, put him a Gen Pop, and it's like, oh man, what happened? He must have fallen down the stairs onto a bunch of shoe soles by the looks of his face. Like, I don't know. It just was horrible. So on that sad note, you got to win. Both of ours were horrible losers this week.
God. Like, my winner does not do any justice. I can't.
What's your winner? Me.
My winner. Yeah. My winner is everybody getting drafted this weekend in the NFL draft and becoming millionaires, even though some of them probably made more in college because getting NIL deals. Now they're getting drafted later and not making as much as they were in college. But kudos to you.
Yeah, it's good.
$1 playing a kid's game.
My winner is this guy, same guy as last week, but in a different video. That would be Principal Kurt Moore from Oklahoma. He was the guy who tackled the potential school shooter. So the school thanked him by electing him prom king. So I thought that was pretty cool.
And that was the perfect soundtrack. Perfect
Right?
song for it.
Perfect soundtrack to get hit with a copyright infringement.
Yes.
I don't think copyright should apply when it has context or something like that, because it's just me.
Yeah.
In fact, if we get hit with it, I'm just going to type on, come on, it's celebrating a guy who saved people's lives. How about not being a dick? And that's what I'm going to send.
Yeah, there you go. That's perfect. That's a perfect response.
So yeah, that was pretty good. Pretty good winner. It was pretty cool and brave what he did, and I'm glad that the school recognized him for it.
Absolutely.
Well, then that runs us into the Trump Truth of the Week, Matt, and we have a new Trump Truth stinger.
Oh,
got a couple new stingers. Here's the new Trump Truth stinger.
Trump Truth.
Yo, it's the Trump Truth segment. What he say? It's what he say. Like it or hate it. You know what he's thinking. Or do you? Trump Truth.
We're all about the jams here on Lost Art of Common Sense. The Trump Truth is Iran doesn't want the Strait of Hormuz closed. They want it open so they can make $500 million a day, which is, therefore, what they are losing if it is closed. They only say they want it closed because I have totally blockaded closed. So they merely want to save face. People approached me 4 days ago saying, "Sir, Iran wants to open the strait immediately. But if we do that, there can never be a deal with Iran unless we blow up the rest of their country, their leaders included President Donald J. Trump." And that was the Trump Truth of the Week.
Yo, it's the Trump Truth segment. What he say? It's what he say. Like it or hate it. You know what he's thinking. Or do you? Trump Truth.
I'm not going to lie, man. I like that. I like it.
I do too.
It's got good beat.
Yep. It's the juices going.
It runs us into Happenens a week. I put a new stinger for that. Kevin likes the old one better, but he didn't come on, so I'm playing the new one I came up with, and you can tell me what you think of it. So, Happenens of the week brought to you by... Why is there no sound?
His cough. I don't know. Why is there nothing?
There's no sound. Oh, wait. You know why? Because I didn't. I just clicked on the thing. Happenings of the week brought to you by...
Elevate your cook with Yummy Tummy barbecue sauces. Founded in Amarillo, Texas by Quad City Iowans, we craft every bottle with whole ingredients like ripe peaches and zesty jalapenos. Our pride, simple, easy-to-read ingredients delivering bold, smoky, and tangy flavor. Visit YummyTummyBBQ.com and pick the sauce and or sauces that's best for you and taste the honest Yummy Tummy difference. Use promo code LOSTCOMMON for 10% off your first order.
We interrupt this program. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned for a special bulletin. Reports coming in. Congress is full of morons. Eyewitnesses confirm Timmy has fallen into the well. Again, rescue teams are on the scene. This marks the 3rd incident this month. In other news tonight, a group of blue-haired, single, middle-aged white women have taken up another cause. They shifted from no kings to no queens. LGBTQ plus the rest of the alphabet is furious. This is the Happenens of the Week.
That's interesting.
Right?
That's different.
It is different.
I don't mind it.
I don't know. If Kevin wants to, you know what? I might use that when I'm running the show, and Kevin can play whichever one when he's running the show.
Yeah, there you go.
I like to change it up every now and again. I thought I had it go into this video of Iran update. We did close the strait. Apparently,
shut it down.
Yeah, an Iranian cargo ship was like, "No, we're going through." And the Navy's like, "You want to do that?
Vacate your engine room."
See, how nice is that? Hey, we're going to blow up your engine room. You might want to leave.
Yeah. Just letting you know. This is happening.
Oh, they gave him plenty of warning.
Yeah.
You know, I trim that off, and sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't.
Jeez. That's strike 3, Josh.
Right?
Strike
I
3.
did. I trimmed it off earlier today, so I thought it would have rendered by now. I'm not exactly sure what you're supposed to do to make it not do that. I don't know. I don't care. It was a TikTok video. I don't care. We didn't get hit with a copyright for last time, so maybe it's not a thing, but
Maybe.
I don't know.
This is educational.
That's right. It is. This is an educational show about education this week. Education, the great equalizer.
Yeah.
So this was interesting. I just heard about this today, but did you hear about this Amy Eskridge, an anti-gravity researcher?
No.
Yeah, ruled a suicide, but her final text said, most definitely did not commit suicide. Like she texted her friend a few days before this happened and said, if I wind up dead, I did not commit suicide. And then she was found and her death was ruled as a suicide. Yeah. That's, I don't know. See, I don't know if it has to do with all the alien stuff kind of swarming around lately, or like maybe she's going to blow the lid off something.
That's just a weird text. Like,
yeah,
I wouldn't believe that. If somebody sent me that, I was like, I don't believe you. It sounds like it's coming from somebody else.
Yes, it is kind of weird. But I don't know, unless she was, I don't know, that'd be kind of a sick joke to play right before you end your own life. I doubt she did that. See, I thought she was like an alien researcher, but what I looked up on her said anti-gravity researcher. So,
well, that could, I guess, do a space. I don't know.
But it turns out you can go on all the stuff you want and say, if I'm dead, I didn't kill myself, and they can still rule you as suicide. And I guess it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what you say.
So that was kind of a sketch.
Very
here's an interesting story that came out, and I think it has further reaching implications.
What we're here today is to announce what the general just told you. The Southern Poverty Law Center, in a massive sweeping indictment, has been charged with allegations of fraud and using the banking system to perpetrate that fraud. I just want to talk about a couple of brief things here. The Southern Poverty Law Center themselves advertise to raise money to dismantle violent extremist groups for a period of at least a decade. They use their donor network to raise money to purportedly dismantle violent extremist groups. However, the SPLC, the Southern Poverty Law Center, used the money they raised from their donor network to actually pay the leadership of these very groups. I just want to say that again. They used the fraudulently raised money by lying to their donor network, thousands of Americans, to go ahead and actually pay the leadership of these supposed violent extremist groups. The groups, as the general laid out, include the Ku Klux Klan, the United Klans of America, Unite to Right, National Alliance, the National Socialist Movement, the Aryan Nation Motorcycle Club, and the National Socialist Party of America, and also the American Front. In at least one of these matters, our investigation revealed that funds were used to facilitate the commission of further state and federal offenses, totaling over $3 million. Furthermore, our investigation revealed that the Southern Poverty Law Center, on top of perpetuating this widespread, decade-long, multi-million-dollar fraud, conducted more criminal activity. They attempted to hide their criminal activity from our financial banking network. They set up shell companies and entities around America so that the financial institutions that we rely on as everyday Americans were deceived in believing that money was not coming from the Southern Poverty Law Center in the perpetration of this scheme and fraud, but rather fictitious entities they stood up to perpetuate this ongoing fraud. This is a serious and egregious violation of a group that purported to dismantle violent extremist groups, but in turn actually only fueled the hatred. This is an important case brought by President Trump's administration. We're thankful to the president for his leadership and funding of not just the FBI and DOJ, but his commitment to go out there and wipe out fraud and conspiracy and waste and abuse wherever it occurs, including the Southern Poverty Law Center. Even though this money was made to appear to be coming from legitimate people and legitimate entities, we at the FBI, with our great partners at the Department of Justice and in the state of Alabama, were able to comb through a decade worth of material, a scheme that took a decade to build, so that we were able to follow the money, because money never lies, and they got caught. As the Attorney General said, these charges are varying, they are widespread and wide-ranging, and this investigation is very much ongoing. Today we're here to announce the charges of the Southern Poverty Law Center, and this investigation and the individuals who are responsible will be brought to justice. Thank you, General.
What do you think of that, Matt?
That's a lot.
So I haven't directly sourced this yet, but there's rumblings that the banks reported this suspicious activity back during the Biden administration. And then the investigation was possibly squashed. Part of that, it sounds like part of that money went to that Charlottesville stuff. So obviously this is bogus. I'm not overly surprised that it happened, but here's the thing. So when you hear about these groups, and this group designated Turning Point like they have a listing on their website of like, I don't know if it's like terrorist or racist or whatever, but like they're malcontents. Turning Point USA was put on that list a short time before Charlie Kirk was assassinated. I'm not saying that caused it. Could just be coincidental. But here's the thing. So when you hear about, oh, there's racist and hatred and white supremacy and blah, blah, and I'm sure you've done it, but I sit back and I'm like, I don't see it. I have seen it. I saw it when I was in Arkansas. Like, I've seen real racism. It is out there. I'm not denying that it's out there. Widespread? No, never seen it. And it always seemed weird. Well, if you have an organization whose whole thing is, pointing out and stopping racism, and you're having to do this, it kind of seems like there really isn't nearly as much as what they're saying, because they're having to, the people are there, they're already racist, but they're paying to manufacture more of it so then they could justify themselves. And I think Obama and Biden were pretty big donors to that organization.
Probably. Yeah, and it's just like they're going to people that, they may be a little bit racist, and if you're around them, they're probably not friendly, but then paying them and being like, hey, take this times fucking 100 or 1,000 and make it public or whatever. It's just fucking stupid.
Yeah, I think I'm sure there's going to be all kinds of excuses, and there'll be, what do you call it? Scapegoats,
those two.
See, this is stupid. I went back and it's actually trimmed and it's still not. I'll just look at a different video, but they'll make excuses on why it does what it does, and it kind of goes into the thing. Like, it seems like everybody's been played.
Mm-hmm.
There is racism out there. There are ignorant ass people that literally judge people solely on the color of their skin and not their character. But to manufacture this stuff and the damage it caused, the lives that it potentially caused, I hope that there's serious consequences for this.
Mm-hmm.
Because that thing's always been a bullshit left-wing organization anyway. If we were more popular, we'd probably be on their list. And we could be on their list if you'd like to subscribe, share, and comment, which our buddy J-Red does. So he's helping get us on that list.
Thank you, Jared.
In fact, I don't even think I ever ran the banner. I got to do that.
Fantastic. Yeah. Wow.
But, so that was pretty messed up.
Yeah.
So even
one thing with all this, even with all the evidence and the publicity of this now coming out, people, especially on the left, are going to be like, oh, that's fake and that's bullshit. You're just evading the thing or using that as a scapegoat for racism. And that's just going to be stupid, and that's going to piss me off when that comes flying out.
Oh yeah, they're gonna water it down. Be like, oh, well, it's not that bad because racism is worse. They were just paying so we could see the racism. That's what they were doing.
Mr. Crazy Eyes just won it on TV when he's not celebrating with the hockey team.
Yeah. What'd you think of the Elon Omar going from net worth $30 million to like tens of thousands? Claiming it was an accounting error, which also points out that she paid someone to do her accounting. So a professional accountant, probably a CPA, somehow messed up by tens of millions of dollars, and it would have been correct if she would have done it herself.
I can't I can't with her, and I can't anymore. She's just stupid. And the way she, like, when people confront her about it and ask her about it, and the whole, unless she's on an actual TV show, she's just so flippant and rude to these reporters and just so nonchalant about everything. And then she makes this video where she just doesn't give a fuck. She's like, yep, I already explained it. It's an error. It's just going to sweep it under the rug, whatever. No, I think she needs to be thoroughly investigated by the IRS and kicked off Congress.
Yeah, I kind of feel like doing this weird turnaround saying it was a banking error just brings more of the magnifying
Makes you look
glass on her.
even more dumb. It just makes you look more stupid and guilty.
Like, if that was the case, she would have immediately, for one, if you're worth $30 million or not. That's not like because she filed the paperwork, and as soon as that, okay, say someone else filed it, cool, whatever. That hit right away. And she didn't say anything until she supposedly, possibly, found a way to hide it, because why would you not come out right away like, oh, no, that was an accounting? As soon as it came out, as soon as that was made public, why would you not come out and deny it? She didn't.
Well, no, she
came
didn't.
up with excuses on why she had the money.
Yeah, she just fed into it. She's like, yep, I had the money, whatever. Or, yep, I have the fucking wine, and I have all these stores that don't really exist. It's just fucking stupid.
Yeah, this and then this is the last one. I don't know if you wanted to share it as happenings, but it's the mayor of Chicago, that video you sent.
Oh yeah. Go ahead.
Let's listen to this guy.
And you just watched an entire city council in transparency try to take wages away from the very people who are part of an industry that has its ties to slavery. Nobody's hiding from that. I am boldly declaring that we need reparations in this city, and that's why
I'm not sure how the restaurant thing came in there.
I don't know how they got on that topic, but yeah, he's going after restaurants and waiters and bus people and everybody that's involved with the restaurant business and trying to take everything away from them, making them pay the city for reparations because they were somehow involved with slavery. I don't get it.
Do you think there's ever going to be any type of form of reparations?
Fuck no.
I don't think there should be.
Not in that. Not what he's talking about. No.
I don't think there should be any form of reparations, period. For two major facts.
Not to the public, yeah.
One, there's no one, well, actually, no, there are more living slaves on this planet than at any point in history. So let's ignore that fact. But there are no living people that were ever slaves in this country. Currently. None of the, as far as like American slavery goes, when they abolished slavery. Yeah. Two, there is no one alive who was a slave owner. Maybe a family, but I know my family never owned slaves. I never owned slaves, and I don't want a dime of my tax money going to someone who wasn't a slave to pay for reparations due to sins in the past. I think it's just, I don't know what they keep pushing this for.
I don't either.
I mean, it gets people ramped up, I guess. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just a running thing, but I just can't see it ever happening.
No.
It's like
California.
Well, they tried it, and then Gavin Newsom's like, yeah, we're not doing it. I was just saying it.
I was just saying that because it sounded good, and then I actually looked at it, and I was like, oh, yeah, that's fucking stupid.
I've seen people posting on a guy used to work with posting on that saying something about getting reparations from Iranian money. It's like, what do you need reparations for? It's like, why? I mean, why do you deserve them? Like I said, we've said before.
My great granddad was treated really badly. Okay.
Yeah. I know a lot of.
I got called stink bomb in fucking elementary school. I should get reparations for that.
Well, Matt Walsh has an interesting video on the history of slavery. I don't know if you've seen it. If you haven't, I'll find it. It just points out straight historical stuff, and
yeah,
it's not. Well, it's like they came out with that movie about the African female warriors or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that entire group was sent out by the king to enslave other tribes. That's what they did.
And they like totally redid the whole history of that.
Yeah.
Made it sellable and made it into a movie. And it's like, why? It's like, look her. I saw that and I was like, oh, that looks interesting. And then I opened a book. And I was like, nope. Or I just Googled. I said, hey, who is this lady? Oh,
she murdered a shit ton of people and enslaved other people.
Yeah, she is a horrible person.
I don't know. We need to treat everybody better in this country through like what Dr. Lee's trying to do in Georgia if she gets elected, and that is strengthening the education system, because that is you can have privilege per se if you're in an area where you get a good education. Because if you don't get a good education and your education system sucks where you live, you are at a disadvantage. You are going to have a rougher start to life. You do have a higher probability of having to do what you got to do to survive, which might include, committing crimes and then ending up in the jail system. And then once you're in the system and you're on paper, it is very hard to get out and away from that.
Mm-hmm.
So the best thing we can do for this country and everyone in it, especially for our youths and the up-and-comers, is just to make sure everybody gets a good, solid education and move forward.
Get that education.
Just saying. Those are big words. And you don't have a movie review this week, do you?
I don't. I failed. I was busy this weekend. I had to deal with a bunch of stuff and did not get a chance to see Normal. I guess I could have done one on an old movie that I watched or one of my favorites, but I did not get one done this week. I apologize, everybody. I know I let you down, America, and the whole internets.
But I'm not going to let you down on this.
Matt's churn butter. No butter's better.
So happy I made that a sound clip.
Thank you for that. That's so nice.
Well, Matt, yeah, you definitely. So are you going to go for the same one next? Because it's not, and it's only like in 2 showings here, and it just came out last week.
Just trying to see. I'm just going to look up what is even out this week.
Is anything coming out new this week?
The only next thing that's good is on May 8th, and it's, but yeah, we're a ways away.
Mortal Kombat?
I'm not seeing Michael. I'm not going to do that.
Why not? You don't like Michael Jackson? I don't like those biography style movies.
I mean, some of them are good, but I just don't think I would.
I'm going to wait for the reviews.
I would like the music. The music would be good, but otherwise, I don't know. Normal, it has a few showings. Let's see, what's Saturday look like?
I think it's getting robbed by Mario Brothers.
Mario Brothers, that was decent, but yeah,
it was okay. But for a brand new release movie to have 4 showings a day,
yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
What is this? Project Hail Mary. There's a movie called Fuse with. Is that Sam Worthington? It is. No, I'm not gonna see that. I might see that one. Maybe Normal's out. Desert Warrior. Drama. I'm not seeing Drama.
Are you sure you don't want to see The Mummy?
I don't want to see that Mummy.
Say, Jared, you upset Jared.
Sorry, Jared.
Jared is upset.
I can see Bus Boys that has one showing on Saturday with David Spade and Theo Vaughn. Silence of the Lambs.
That's a re-release, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's the 35th anniversary.
Oh, I'm old.
Yeah, right. Devil Wears Prada too. Oh, that's not even out yet.
Not going to be seeing that.
Nope, I'm not going to be seeing that one either. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll see Normal. We'll see.
It wasn't bad. It's worth a watch. Like, if nothing new comes out worth watching, I'm probably just going to go see Hail Mary again for the fourth time.
Fourth time, yeah. I wouldn't mind it. It's a good movie. It's a great movie. I mean, people are saying it's like 75%, but I don't give a fuck. Let's see. What's next weekend? Devil Wears Prada.
That's 100%. I love that movie.
It was great.
It captured how Kevin eats so perfectly. I cannot wait for him to see that movie and figure out what I'm talking about.
The book makes it sound even. It's just different in the book too. I mean, it's the same way he eats. He's just so excited in the movie, and in the book, he's just like, "Don't look at me." He's like, you don't want to see this. But yeah.
Oh, while you're looking at stuff, Kev wasn't here, so.
Oh.
My name is Kevin, and I have a load in my pants.
Yep, that just happened. Had to do it.
Nice.
Had to do it.
So yeah, next week I'll again, or I'll just do a random movie. Maybe The Prestige, maybe Fury, maybe something else that comes on digital. I don't know. We'll see.
Trying to think.
Dark Saints.
Have you done Bullet Train yet? Did you do that one?
I
can't remember.
Don't remember if I did, but that is.
We really need to write these down.
I have them. Oh
yeah, because you have scripts for them. Well, just let me know what you do so I can put them in there.
Yeah. I don't know if I did Bullet Train, but that is a good one. I like that movie. I really, really, really like that movie.
Yeah, I love that movie. Brad Pitt's a good actor.
Yes.
I recently watched
Ed Bunny was in that movie. Your favorite artist.
Yeah. I was glad that his character got it in the end. I recently watched the last two Mission Impossible movies.
What'd you think of those?
I liked it. I liked the idea behind it. I think the last movie, I don't know if it's actually the last one because they'll keep making them for making money, but I thought it was like there were too many suspenseful moments going on at one time.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was watching, I'm like, this is too much.
Yeah.
Like resolve
he just
something.
To go all out. He just wanted to go all out on his last one, but
yeah, I mean, I don't think it was bad. I enjoyed it, but it was like around the end of the movie, it's like there is too much going on simultaneously. There's too much tension built to where something has to be resolved. Yeah. And it didn't until the very end.
I saw that a couple of times in theaters. I think I saw it with a buddy of mine, and then I went and saw it by myself another time.
In that one theater with the dividers?
Two. What? No.
Don't you remember any past shows?
No.
No, not that one.
Not that one. Not that one. Not that theater. I
did miss one story.
Go in that one for that one.
I did miss one story. Barack Obama praising Virginia for passing just the typical Democrat gerrymandering in the state of Virginia to uphold democracy. But if Republicans do it, then it's an attack on democracy.
Yeah.
So
and there was another story that just happened today. Where'd it go? Trump did something cool. What did he do? He partnered. Yeah, he made an agreement with Regeneron, a major pharmaceutical manufacturer, to lower prescription drug prices that Americans pay for some of the world's most innovative drugs, to make it the most affordable prescription drugs ever, is what he said. Never been lower. And then he has his own TrumpRx.com, I think he's what he called it, where people can go just to get cheaper pharmaceuticals. It provides every state Medicaid program in the country access to MFN drug prices on new Regeneron products, resulting in hundreds of millions in savings and continuing President Trump's historic efforts to strengthen the program for the most vulnerable Americans. It ensures foreign nations can no longer use price controls to free ride on American innovation by guaranteeing MFN prices on all new innovative medicines Regeneron brings to the market. Blah, 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 blah. Doesn't matter. The agreement marks the president's 17th MFN deal made, with deals now covering the 17 leading pharmaceutical manufacturers, representing 86% of the branded drug market. Each of these manufacturers had agreed to fundamentally rebalance international drug pricing by providing MFN pricing to American patients. I can't remember what medication he said, but there was one, he said normal price is like $450 a month for this, and then it came down with the Trump RX, it's like $50. I can't remember what he said that was, but
I think he almost might run into an issue where he has so much going on, and we live in such a fast-paced news cycle that people don't really actually realize the good and the bad things he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
I think it skipped it. Did you say MF?
MFN? I don't know.
MFN.
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know what that stands for.
Motherfucking news.
Motherfucking news. Most favored nation.
Oh, well, so basically what he's doing is he's lowering our costs and raising everybody else's.
Pretty much.
That's what he's doing. Because like we've always paid these bloated costs for drugs because we cover the R&D, and then everyone else in the world pays cheap as shit. So he's like, nah, we're not doing that anymore. So because companies don't lose money. So I guarantee you what they're doing is they're taking the percentage of income that they're losing from the United States by lowering it and spreading it out across the world. But, I don't care because we've been getting ripped off forever.
Yeah. Yep.
Because a lot of people that are on these medications are like, a lot of them like are either sick, they're not able to work, they're older, and they're having to pay out the ass, which the reason why health insurance, which is a big thing that dude needs to take care of, is frickin' health insurance.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one thing he kept standing over, that he kept stepping over. He did it in his first term. He talks about it in his second term. So that needs to be addressed because health insurance is a effing joke.
Agreed. Well,
tell me I'm in the mega cult. Think not.
Well, this is interesting. It's going to be interesting now with these lower costs and medication costs. It's going to be interesting because the people on the left are like totally anti-Trump people that hate anything to do with Trump, regardless if it's good, bad, or ugly, whatever. They see this and they're going to need these medications that are crazy, and they're going to be like, oh, in order to get them cheap, I need to go through Trump RX. I'm not doing that, so I'm going to pay triple of what I should be.
Whatever.
Yeah, it's like, oh, that sucks for you.
It's like those ones where it's like, oxygen is good for you, and then it shows left-wing people with bags on their heads and stuff.
Yeah.
That's about where we're at. Irrational, just irrational hatred.
And it's not all the people on the left. It's not all Democrats. I'm not saying that. It's just the way, way, way far left people that are just like completely.
I think there's a lot of Democrats that are in limbo right now.
Yeah.
They're obviously not represented by the ruling party in Washington. They've literally been hijacked by the farthest fringe of their party. So you have all these people that are just floating in limbo, which is why a lot of them actually moved to MAGA for stuff, and that's why there might be some shakings here and there. But they keep saying, Trump supporters are waning, which he's got like 100% approval rating with, I guess, Republicans or some shit. And same thing with the news saying that we're losing to Iran and Iran is winning the war. They're literally saying this on the news.
How is that?
It's like they don't have an Air Force. They don't have a Navy. 2 tiers of the leadership are gone. what moron. And it's like, and the one person like, oh, there's this, I don't know if he's a congressman or senator. He's just a dipshit. And he's always out there, totally TDS, which I'm over that crap, but as an excuse for being a moron. But he's like, oh, yeah, well, they have the fortitude to wait. No, they don't. They don't have the fortitude because closing the strait is going to make them broke. Their military is not going to get paid. The police aren't going to get paid. It's going to have an effect. And for like, that's the gaslighting that's going on. And I'm working on a song because we're going to end the program with a new segment that we're going to be doing once a month, I think, where we're making our own songs and music videos because why not? And this first video is a shout out to all the black pillars out there. So with one specific lead man, just because it went with the lyrics better, but I don't exactly write them. I have them generated and then I go through and rewrite them and then pick the music. So
is it the singer from Creed? Is it the lead singer from Creed?
I don't know who the song's. No, this one is like a disco kind of thing. So this first one. So yeah, just so we don't blow through them, by the way, we'll probably do it. This one we'll do this week, and then we'll probably do another one on the first Thursday of the month, and then we'll just do a first Thursday of the month going forward, because I'm up to, I got 9 songs made and 7 videos.
Oh boy, you were busy.
Well, you know, when I'm actually learning how to write lyrics, so like how you write them. I'm not going to lie. I do have them. The first ones I just had generated, but I have had a base of lyrics generated, so I have the footprint, and then I go through and rewrite them to make them better.
Yeah.
To me, people might not like them, but yeah. So that's what we'll be ending the show with.
Okay.
I don't know. Do you have anything else?
Not really. This was a good show, I thought.
I enjoyed it. We had an awesome guest. Talked about some good stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And if you are watching the show and you have an opinion of what movie I should do next week, just please comment down below and let us know, and we'll kind of take it from there.
Comment down below or go to lostartofcommonsense.com and send us a message, and we'll get it to Matt.
Do it.
Well, yeah, I don't have anything else, so I guess that wraps up the show. So like I said, we'll be ending the show with a new segment, so stay tuned for that, Jim. And until next time, I'm Josh.
And I'm Matt.
And this was the Lost Art of Common Sense.
Common sense.
Common sense.
Common sense.
And remember, don't be boring, be a pirate.
And keep on keeping on, America.
And check this shit out.
Keep that vinyl spinning production. Custom MVs from the lost art of common sense. We keep it real, we keep it loud, we keep it spinning. Keep that vinyl spinning production. Vinyl spinning. Did it. Remember Alex Jones? Yeah, remember this bit? Anything goes wrong, Israel did.